guys, thanks for joining me. This is Axum Outdoor Adventures with the Slingshot RoundTable, and today we have first time around here, Tristan Kast. But I've been excited to talk to you for a while, and Trent is rejoining us. So let's go ahead and get chatting, guys. What is going on?
Well, I'm happy to be here joining you guys for the first time. Once I saw the first video go up, I knew I had to be a part of it. It's such an interesting take to slingshots, just have a nice casual roundtable talk. So, but no, been shooting lately. I've actually been doing a lot more hunting as I transition into the fall. That's my main focus versus actually practicing in the outdoors because it's cold.
Yeah, I saw your picture of your squirrel. That was a good catch and a good shot. I bought my hunting license last year, and I actually went hunting a couple of times. I was just more kind of strolling through the woods with my slingshot,
Hmm.
but I never saw any squirrels I could get a good shot off of. But I'm really more interested in hunting rabbits, squirrels myself. But I don't know that I'll ever actually get one, but I am going to wander out in the woods some more. Trent, do you hunt at all? I think Trent froze up on
Well, we'll let him get back. Yeah,
it.
no, rabbit is my top of my game for quarry. I do run into a lot of squirrels just because it's a wooded area with a lot of
Right.
acres. I mean, it's really just take what you can get, anything small game wise. I've even taken a chucker. That was some years back, but it wandered off of an upland pheasant preserve. They release these chuckers from Asia that are a fast flying bird for shotgun shooters, so it presents a challenging experience for them. But they wander off and they're kind of elusive. But I did manage to get one with a slingshot, and I have it taxidermied in my shop.
That's really cool. So you kind of lost me at chucker though. I'm not. Is that a bird?
Yeah, it's an upland game hunting bird. It's one of the hardest species to actually shoot with a shotgun, just because they're so fast flying.
Oh, that's cool. I would love to do some bird hunting with my
Yeah,
slingshot, but there's not really any game around here down in
yeah,
southern
we
Indiana that I know of.
we live in a weird region where the like pheasants normally like the prized possession for bird hunting is the ringneck pheasant. The harsh winters of the up north kind of wiped them out. I have seen some wild ones as I lived in Michigan, but it was very rare and seldom. It seemed like they were actually released birds, but
Am I back?
So yeah, you're back, Trent. I was just getting ready to say that. Trent's back joining us.
I don't know what happened. I
Uh,
just glitched out.
yeah, you glitched out, froze up. It's no big deal. We were talking about hunting with slingshots. Do you hunt at all?
I want to, but I don't have my license yet. I can get it really
Okay.
quick though. But I do.
Yeah,
The reason I got into slingshots was for hunting.
that's really cool. I know some people don't, they're not into hunting or whatever. That's fine. It's
yeah,
it's
you
everybody's
respect that.
prerogative. Yeah, I respect that. But I grew up hunting. I grew up around hunting. We weren't a big hunting family. Like my dad wasn't super into hunting, but I do remember going out squirrel hunting and rabbit hunting with him, and he taught me how to set snares. When I was a kid, that was kind of cool. It's not something I've done since then, but I had
Mhm.
those memories. And so he had an old wrist rocket, so definitely slingshots was a part of our little outdoor excursions or whatever. But we didn't do a lot of hunting. But like I was telling him, Trent, I did go out a couple times in the woods last year with my slingshot, looking for squirrel, but kind of just enjoying the woods too. But I'd like to go out and get some rabbits this year. As a matter of fact, we just decided and put plans on. We haven't actually been down to put the deposit on it yet, but we're getting a golden retriever puppy.
Mm.
And I was kind of doing some YouTube searches on retrieve or rabbit hunting with a golden retriever. And excuse me, I don't know that it's something I'll do, but it was just kind of one of those things that kind of piqued my interest when we found out we were getting a retriever. Um, go ahead, Tristan.
Yeah.
You look like you were going to say something.
Yeah, well, I actually just got a puppy, but he's a Great Pyrenees, so he wouldn't do very well. He's more of a family guard. He's more of a family guard dog, but he's grown big. I was actually researching into a hunting breed, and traditionally we always hunted with beagles and basset hounds, but really you don't want to be shooting rabbits on the run or anything like that, right? You want a kind
Mhm.
of a stationary target. So I was always researching into pointing breeds and seeing if someone could utilize like an English pointer or the German what do they call them, the GSPs, the German short haired
German short
pointers.
hairs. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I was leaning to, but never pulled the trigger on it.
Um, so true. One thing I want to get to real quick before we get too far into this is I want you guys to plug your social media because I always wait till the end to do that, and I don't know how many. Well, I know not as many people watch the end as the beginning. So go ahead and plug your social media. I know you guys both have it.
Yeah, mine's TTF Talk. I do not post regularly due to time constraints, but occasionally I do. But you can go ahead, Trent.
I'm just on Facebook and Instagram. Trent Pyle on Facebook, P Treadward on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel, but I don't do anything with it except for engage with other YouTube channels. So I
That's
don't
cool.
post a
Yeah,
lot, but I do have it.
I knew you didn't have, or I knew you didn't post on YouTube, but I thought you may want to plug your Facebook. So when we give you
Yeah.
the chance to do that. And of course, I am Axum Outdoor Adventures and also Andrew Axum on YouTube. I've been doing some more videography and camera related stuff on that. So go ahead and subscribe to all of us if you would. Oh, there was some viewer questions I want to get to a little later that have people have responded on social media.
Oh, awesome.
So Trent, you talked about living in Michigan. You live in Ohio right now, is that correct?
You mean Tristan?
Tristan, yeah, I'm sorry. The
Yeah,
T names are throwing
yes.
me off.
Yeah, I live in Ohio now. I end up marrying a girl here, so I'm stuck here.
That'll do
I do love Michigan
it.
more. It's in my heart, but
I love Michigan.
yeah.
We got married up there because we got married during COVID,
Mhm.
and we got married at not on Mackinac, but the little city there in St. Ignace. We
Yeah,
got married in
right next
St.
to it.
Ignace and honeymooned on Mackinac, and we've been back several times to Michigan. I really enjoyed it there, but uh, remind me of where in Ohio you live. It's not Liberty, I don't think,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's in the northwest corner, near Defiance. So
Defiance. Okay, that's
it's
what I was
pretty,
thinking.
it's big farmland area. So there's not much forestry that you would normally see in Michigan. It's a lot of openness, a lot of barrenness, but it is what keeps me employed.
Yeah, I was going to say you work in that industry on tractors
Yeah.
and stuff. Don't you?
Yep. I manage a shop, for agricultural equipment.
That's what I thought. And I think I first time I met you was down at Joe's, but
Mhm.
you were at Hocking Hill 22,
Yeah.
weren't you? Okay.
Well, I was there for what the time's flown by so
20,
fast. But
23, because I wasn't there in
23, I
22.
was there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
went
what I
to
thought.
ECST 23 and then Hocking Hills 23. And then this one I went to um the Hocking Hills ECST, and I tried to, well, no, I did make aim. I had to leave early at Hocking Hills due to a family emergency.
Okay, I was going to say I thought you were at AIM this year, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
didn't
where I
see
met
you
you.
at Hocking Hill. That's where you guys met.
Yeah,
Yep. We met at
Okay,
aim, right, Trent?
yeah,
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
I met everybody there. It
Trent's
was my first.
that was your first tournament, you said, right?
Yep.
Cool. What tournaments are you guys planning this year or this coming year?
I definitely want to make ECST, and if there's another AIM tournament, I'll definitely go. But I may end up using my vacation hours by then, so I don't know. But it's on the plan.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. I definitely want to try to do ECST this year because I have not made it yet. There's always been something that's come up, but
Yeah, I've never been, but I want to.
Well,
um,
I will say if you're debating on any of them, I think ECST is a must or a priority because it's a different experience. But my plan is ECST, and I always do Hocking Hills because that's my home state. It's really going to be up for debate if I can find a travel buddy for Alabama Catapult Carnival
I'm
or
wanting to
AIM.
go.
Yeah, it's exact. There we go. We got a carpool right there.
Yeah.
But AIM is going to be troublesome for me because I heard the date. I haven't confirmed it with the guys yet, but I heard the date moved to October, and that's normally my peak season in business, and I really
Right.
can't leave my station. But
Yeah, I understand that. What were you going to say, Trent?
Oh, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just agreeing. I was making noises in agreement with Tristan.
Oh, okay. Um, speaking of ECST, I had one of the questions that somebody had. I'm trying to get to it here. Was about ammo size at the tournaments, and they specifically mentioned ECST. So I thought now would be a good time to get to that. Let me get over here.
so they're wanting to know what most was used, or
I'm trying to get to the exact question, or
okay.
their exact question. Okay, it's from Papa Shorty on YouTube, and I'm not sure who that is. Sometimes I know the people and I don't know their YouTube name. So do you
Yeah.
guys know who Papa Shorty is?
No, I actually don't.
Okay. It may be somebody I know, but just not the name.
Yeah, maybe I should know them.
He asked, is there a standard/regulation ammunition size used during ECST and other tournaments? Also, is steel or clay being used? So there is no standard size as far as I mean, I'm pretty sure there's not because I know
Well,
I shoot.
they did convert to the WSA standards. So if I recall right, it's 6.35 millimeter all the way up to 9.5 is your largest. So that's your range.
Right. There's a
Yeah,
range, but there's not a
yes,
standard size.
there's not a standard. You can use anything within that range.
So
And
six
it's
point.
still only, right?
Yeah, I don't think clay is allowed at the
No,
tournaments, are they?
it's not steel only.
Right, right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to shoot clay at a tournament anyway.
Yeah, you'd be getting everything dirty.
Well, you'd be getting everything missed.
Mm-hmm.
uh so yeah, there's no standard size, but there is a standard range. And you said 6.3, is that what you said?
Yeah,
Up
it's
to 9.5.
6.35, which is like quarter-inch, and
Right.
then 9.5 would be 3/8.
Okay. So there's the range. Yeah, thank you for the question, Papa Shorty. Another, oh, this is kind of cool, this question, and it relates to clay.
Okay.
Bootleg Mike asked, do you guys know who that is?
I recognize his name from the lives.
Okay, yeah, but I'm not sure who it is in real life.
Yeah,
Slingshot shooters in the US can't find people to shoot with in their area, which is very true. That's
Okay.
kind of why I wanted to
yeah,
do this to maybe
It's a big problem,
find a
yeah.
way.
I'm in the same boat.
It says, however, the white clay at Walmart, white clay balls at Walmart are always sold out. Could Walmart be used to hook people up? Thanks. And I think that is a really interesting question.
For
I don't
clay,
know. Well, I think he's talking more about Walmart as a kind of a meeting spot or tool in some way. If I understand,
I think you're on the right track, Andrew, is that he's insinuating there's other people buying them out
in
that
the
are
area,
shooting,
right?
right?
Right. So one way I thought would be to like approach Walmart with, I don't know how that would work. I know at one point Walmart was kind of community minded and
Yeah.
they let the Good Sam's RV people park in their lots overnight and stuff. I don't know if they still do that. But the other thought, oh, I think I shut my video off.
No, you're
The
back on.
other, the other thought that I had was something like Reddit, like a Reddit subgroup. But I mean, still, how do you get the word out? You know what I mean?
That or contact the brand that sells the clay and ask if they would promote a sticker of a local community or a page they could join. So they look right at the container and then could scan like a URL or like the QR code. I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of possibility there with that idea. That's a really neat one.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. I think that we should throw that around in our own minds and see if we can come up with something there. But the
That was a really
subreddit
good question.
idea, yeah, the subreddit idea I was thinking of. I don't know how you would get people drawn to the subreddit in the first place. I mean, I guess it kind of has the same problem that already exists, like just getting the word out there, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, the third and final question we got on YouTube, and I wish Moan was here for this. An important question the world needs to know. This is from Sling Nerd, which I definitely know that I know that name, but I'm not sure right off the top of my head what real life person that is. An important question the world needs to know is how to make perfect French toast.
Zucchini bread. Zucchini bread is the best French toast bread there is.
Oh, I never had that. I've had
Yeah,
zucchini,
never had that one.
zucchini. I've had zucchini nut muffins. Those are awesome. If you're ever down in the South, Publix Deli, man, they make killer zucchini nut
You know
muffins.
anyone who makes any zucchini bread at all? I've tried this at church. It's the best French bread recipe you could ever make. Just make it like regular French bread, but with zucchini bread.
I've never made French
So
bread
good.
or French toast. I can eat the hell out of some French toast, but I've never made
Yeah,
it.
never made it. I can eat it too.
That's why I wanted Moan. Moan's always posting breakfast food pictures on here. I know he's a big fan of breakfast food, so I thought maybe he'd have some insight on that. But so that's all of the viewer questions. That was pretty cool. Thank you, everybody who asked a question. So Trent, I'm sorry, Tristan, you mentioned not posting a lot on YouTube, but you do have a channel
Yes, I do.
and
Yep.
mentioned it was TTF.
Yes. Yep. I'm not the only. There's a few of us out there. Jose is the other big TTF shooter in the US. He's really awesome, very accurate, and very knowledgeable. But yeah, that is what I primarily shoot. It's what I've always gravitated to. It started out from a video, because you guys, not to group you all, but if you came into it within the last 2 years, you never experienced the TTF era. There was an era where Gamekeeper John was the most popular person on YouTube. It was before Chris Graffin, and that's all he shot, and that's all you wanted to do, right? So,
When I first started shooting, I started with TTF because the guy that got me into it, that's what he recommended. And
yeah.
I shot that way for the first, I don't know, probably month and a half I was shooting. And of course, most people I don't think are real accurate the first month and a half anyway.
Oh, no, you need some time
But
under your belt.
I got so frustrated with it that I switched to OTT and I had enough success with it in the first few shots that I was hooked on that.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, I'll still go out and try to shoot TTF, but I'm not as good at it. So when I hear people making jokes about it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stay out of this one because if anybody ever asks me to back up my mouth, I can't. You know, it's
Yeah.
difficult to me. But what do you shoot, Trent?
OTT.
You do? Do you mess
I
around with
tried
TTF?
TTF, I think one time with the hammer from Simple Shot, and I didn't do so good. And I haven't shot it since.
You guys were talking about the hammer the other day. Do you still have one of those?
I do, yeah. And I don't want
I
it.
don't. You don't want it?
No, I don't want it.
Okay.
The
I
hammer
was
grip, it's one of the best platforms ever made. It's a great slingshot. I'm not throwing any shade on it. It's just not for me. I tried with it. I don't know. I don't like
I've
it.
always been I've been kind of curious about them, especially with the arrow attachment. I thought that might be kind of interesting. But somebody was telling me that I think that Simple Shot's best selling slingshot.
Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't know that.
Which I found kind of interesting because I would have assumed it would have been like the LT or
I
the
think the
torque or
Scout
something.
is up there, number one. Torque maybe close up there too.
Yeah, I would have pictured the original Scout.
That's me too.
The first frame I ever bought was from Simple Shot, and you guys might not know it, but it was the Ocularis
Mhm.
Jelly Bean.
Yeah,
That
I've seen
was
that.
that was the worst beginner frame I've ever. That I would never send a beginner with that frame. It
My
was
I
first
don't.
so
prototype.
tiny.
I don't think Ocularis or any kind of rounded tips are good for beginners.
No, they're
Uh,
so wide. They take up so much surface area. It makes your gap smaller. And to make it into like this tiny little jelly bean frame.
well, the first frame I ever bought was as an adult was the Ocularis Axiom,
Mhm.
and I still have it, and I love that frame. I loved the grip of it then, but I realized early when I bought my second frame, which was a Wasp Enzo,
Mhm.
and it had the flat tops. I realized that I do better with the flat fork tips, and now as I'm more experienced, I can still shoot at the Ocularis, but not as well. But what I said early on, I think I put it in the video. I may have edited it out. I don't know, but I was talking about loving the Ocularis Axiom, but wishing they would make it in a clipped version with flat fork tips, which they now
Mhm.
have,
Yeah, they
and
now
that
have it. Yeah.
that has become probably my current favorite mass produced frame. I say
Yeah.
current because that shifts as the wind blows,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. No, if anyone asked me, that would be the frame I'd recommend, that new Axiom. Just feeling it in person at Hocking Hills when I was talking to Nathan, the materials they're playing around with are not the materials they were using back then. This thing feels indestructible. It feels like it has like an aluminum core inside of it. It's crazy. It's
they're
different than anything they
they're
come up with.
very dense, like the plastic. I mean, it
Yes.
just feels dense. And somebody was telling me that they had heard through the grapevine that Nathan had actually done some tests on that where he put frames in a vise or some kind of
Yeah.
thing to hold them, and was shooting at ocular or a new Axiom frame trying to break it just to see how durable
Yeah.
it was, and they never broke one. So that's just a rumor I heard, but I would believe it based on my experience with it.
Yeah. I saw the dent marks it made. It was pretty impressive, but that thing is durable. It's not the most
Yeah.
durable frame I've ever seen in my life, but it's pretty dang close. I would say that this one that I actually shoot daily is probably the most durable. I've actually put this up in the catch box and shot it.
What
You
is that an
actually,
Axiom? Is that an Axiom champ?
yep, this is one of the Ray Bazanski original ones he made. It's see-through, it's transparent. If you remember the old pickle bones, this is the same material that was made. He got some off the guy that made the pickle bones, but it's actually, if you can see, it's flexible.
Oh yeah.
It's a Task 12 material. This thing has been fork hit by many people. This is a frame I can hand off to anybody. It's literally indestructible. You won't see the fork hits on the inside at all. It's insane.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I wish
I've
more
never.
frames went that way, but I heard it's expensive.
What is that stuff?
Task 12 comes in like a barrel, he was saying, if I remember. It's forever ago since I talked to Ray.
I've never heard of that stuff.
It's the
Really
most elite
cool.
material in my opinion, because it when you pull it back, the frame almost flexes and form fits into your hand. I'll have to let you play with it sometime.
Yeah, I could see that the flexibility of it there. That's really neat. So you guys just we're talking about the Axiom champs. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have one of those. I bought one just because I buy every slingshot frame I see,
Yeah.
and that's the one Axiom. Like I don't get along with it, and
The champ. Yeah.
yeah, I want to because I love it and I love the story behind it.
Mhm.
But it just the palm swell on it's just a little too small for me.
I think any multi-tip frame, I don't like multi-tip frames in general. I just got along with this one the most because it's my size of fork width, and multi-tip frames seem to favor TTF shooters more. Most OTT shooters would rather have the tip be a lot closer to the hand. to fit right in there at the glove, but there's
say
not
most
many
OT
that fork width.
Oh yeah, I oh, I lost my train of thought there. That's okay. I can edit that. Speaking of editing, that actually was where I was going. I was thinking about letting you guys know this. When we last done one of these little roundtables and I edited it, I had some music that YouTube told me would be okay to use. Or no, it wasn't YouTube. It was Power Director, my editing software using my computer. I got it from them, and it was the opening clip of All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. It was just like the opening 18 seconds.
Yeah.
And they said it would be okay to use and wouldn't cause strikes and stuff. I used that when I first uploaded the last video, and I ended up replacing it because when it got posted to YouTube, not only did it demonetize the video, which I was like, I don't care about that so much, but it banned it in certain countries and territories.
Wow.
I was like, wow, they really don't like Hendrix some places.
Yeah.
But I guess it was something to do with the copyright and all that. But anyway, just to let you know, or you guys know, if you're editing, don't use any copyrighted music, even if it's just like an 18-second clip you think will be okay, because
Yeah, that's noted.
I wasn't trying to get knocked out of Indonesia and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys oh, I know what I was gonna ask. You were talking about that champ. Is that you indicated that was kind of your favorite frame right now? Or maybe
Yeah, well, anybody knows me knows that that's my favorite all-time frame. I think I own like 15 of them or something like that.
made out of that specific stuff.
Yeah, that's not that specific stuff. I only own 2 others of that specific stuff, and I have a hard time giving them or selling them, I should say, away just for the fact that Ray's no longer like making anymore.
Okay.
But most of them are of naturals, or G10 or Micarta ones, that are made by Ray and signed by him. Other ones like Simple Shot. Yeah, I got a limited edition Axiom champ that was gifted to me by Jordan Smothers from the AIM tournament. You were there when he gave it to me.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was really cool. Those black ones.
Yep, the black one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Trent, do you have a favorite frame or favorite style?
My favorite style is OTT, and my current favorite frame is Caddyshack's HGH.
Okay.
The original HGH with the brown scale.
I don't have any Caddyshack, but I know what you're talking about.
It's the one that I gravitate the most. It's not
Those are good frames.
It's not my favorite in terms of like aesthetics. It's my favorite in terms of I shoot the best with it. I love that frame.
Yeah. I have I think my 2 favorite mass-produced frames are the Wasp Enzo and well, currently the Simple Shot Axiom. It was the LT2 up until I got a hold of the Axiom, but I think I like that one a little bit better than LT2 even.
It's amazing how your preferences drift. Back 5 years ago when I was shooting, it was a lot of 100mm frames, very wide frames. Now people are drifting to smaller and smaller, especially as long draws become more prevalent in the US. But almost everybody was selling 100mm frame, and we were shooting these gigantic things. Like PPMG was just massive. But that was my longest favorited frame ever. But yeah, it's really neat how the community evolves.
It is the community, and I've been looking back through a lot of the old Slingshot forum posts, seeing like trying to dig into the archives and see how old the post I can find, and just kind of see what was going on 15 years ago, what was popular, and it is interesting how it kind of
it was cool to
changes.
experience, right? Like
Yeah.
we all shot 3/8 ammo or 9.5 if you use metric. Like it was almost unheard of to go anything smaller. And then Chris Graffin made these videos of him hunting with 8 mil steel. And
Mhm.
people, oh my gosh, there was so much hatred against it. Like, how could you ethically do that? And use an 8 mil steel is just the worst. And then he started winning all these tournaments. And then people started gravitating towards 8 mil as short draw shooters. um it's it's just fascinating, like mind-boggling that people wouldn't even give it a chance back then.
Mhm.
But bands are a
Yeah.
lot better, right?
Yeah. Bands, yeah, are a lot better nowadays, but I don't know. People get on the bandwagon and just want to, I don't know, don't want to try things new and criticize
Yeah.
people that do. But one of the things about, I feel like not only does the sport itself evolve over time, but me as a shooter, like I change. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
As I get better, what band material may have worked well for me for, may not. But then I'll go through a 6 month cycle and something else, some little, other way I hold my thumb or my wrist or something will change. And I'll go try the stuff I haven't tried for 6 months. And then that works good for me again. And then, as I evolve, what I use, even as far as pouches and stuff, will evolve and change. But it's cyclical. Like it's not like I move away from something. Oh, I never go back to that. That works for me again. Well, at some point in the future, and I think it has to do with seasons and weather and how we grow and change as a shooter too.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Are you asking Trent or me?
Well, either of you. I just kind of want to
Well,
know.
Trent, give your perspective as I mean, you've been to AIM tournament and you
Mhm.
went to Hocking Hills, right? So
Mhm.
what are you seeing as a new shooter? I know you were shooting some pretty heavy bands, and
Yeah.
give your perspective on if anything's changed in your mind.
I think at both tournaments I was at, I was shooting the heaviest bands. Unintentionally, that's kind of how it worked out. In terms of like how you were talking about shooting smaller frames, I'm not into it anymore. I've shot this today and I 4K'd it like 4 times. I'm pretty upset about that.
That one of Kenneth Dyke's frames.
Yeah, it's one of Kenneth Dykes. I got this at AIM.
I like that. That's pretty.
It's one of the best ever. That's why I'm so upset that I 4K'd it right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
So mad. You guys are right about Chris Graffin making smaller ammos more popular, and
Yep.
I decided from the get go because of him, because of Nathan Masters, and because of Wayne Martin that I will shoot a range of 8 to 11 mil steel and 8 to 10 mil lead, and that's pretty much it. And I'll shoot darts for fun. So I don't see myself changing. Maybe I'll do some long draw stuff, which I said in the last one that I've been practicing. But within that range, there's a lot of play that you can do. So there isn't much room for me to evolve, but rather just be more well rounded.
Yeah.
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 I think I tried to challenge myself into shooting every single form in a tournament and being happy with my results. My first year ever, I shot my tried and true, the TTF short draw champ, and I ended up getting eighth, I think it was, at ECST, and I was very happy with that for my first tournament ever. The next ECST, I
I
actually
think it
did,
was seventh, wasn't it? I thought you got
or,
seventh.
or seventh. I can't remember my first one. Yeah, I really can't. I was either eighth or seventh, somewhere around that ballpark. And then my second ECST, I did long draw shooting, and I got fifth. So I actually thought I actually shot way better on my first year. It's just competition the way it was that year. I ended up landing in the fifth place as a long draw. So I'm happy with it. I put it down, but at least I can say that I can shoot short draw TTF, long draw TTF, short draw OTT, long draw OTT. I can shoot pickle fork, like just to say and understand people where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
I can hit
Well,
a
I think I might
can
have to look
about
to you in
8
the
out of
future.
10 times.
Sorry, Andrew.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, I was just making a joke. I said I can hit a can 8 out of 10 times. He was bragging about all
That
these.
was the challenge back then, right? You were a good shooter if you could hit it 10 out of 10.
I guess that's an area where I could evolve in, as I normally shoot OTT, and I've been kind of curious about TTF, but I don't know anything about it. The
Yeah.
one time I did try, it didn't do so hot, so I guess I can go there and increase my range. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you go through transitions, right? Like,
yeah,
I shot OTT for 2 years straight, and then I
hmm
went back to TTF. I had like a couple gap years,
mm.
but you realize that you may not get it one day. You just keep at it. You figure out its quirks.
that's what I love about this sport, though, is that there is always a new challenge for you if you want it. If you don't want to try tubes, nobody's making you try tubes, but it's there if you want to do it. And there's no end of the combinations of new things you can try. I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
with all of the stuff that's out there. There is one thing I wanted to talk about, though. We've been talking about hunting a little bit. And I don't know, like I don't want to get on a soapbox. I don't want to make my channel about that, but there is something that bothers me, and you guys probably see it on social media too. Anytime, like I respect people that don't want to hunt, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna, be obnoxious and try to push it on you or anything. But anytime somebody asks a question on Slingshot forums or Facebook or whatever about hunting, everybody piles on them and you're too inexperienced, you have no experience. Like they were just asking a freaking question. How
Oh,
are they going to gain? How are they going to gain experience and learn anything if they don't ask questions? You know what I mean?
that's true in general. When anyone on the pages ask a question about slingshots about anything, they like assume that like the person doesn't know anything, or maybe they're just looking for. I've done it. I've asked for like 9.5 mil setups. And I get this whole like lecture and lesson about rubber that I wasn't asking for. And
Right.
when they talk about hunting, they go into ethics, make sure you get a clean kill, get a couple years practice on the range first. It gets ridiculous. Like most of the time they are just asking a simple question and they don't need all of that. But then you're right, they get piled on. And most of the pages aren't so helpful because of that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
drives me nuts.
The hunting community, I don't think it is where it's at. 90% of it is Mike Sturm, right? He lives in Alaska. He has the best hunting channel ever to exist on YouTube.
What's the
But
channel again?
Mike Sturm, I believe it is
Mike Sturm.
STURM.
Okay.
Yes, look him up if you don't know about him. He's probably my favorite YouTube channel. But there has always been that shadowing of I know more, you're not experienced enough to do it. You bring about efficacy questions of ammo size or preference and style. I have gotten to arguments with people, which I shouldn't, right? Be an adult. Which is more ethical, long draw or short draw, right?
Whichever one you're accurate.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yes, but also you can't say one is more ethically sound than the other to a new beginner. If you think about it in rifle standards, you don't shoot a deer with a 22 long rifle.
No.
You pull out a 12 gauge or something, a bigger caliber. Um, so long draw does have that proficiency. It has more kill power. If you're proficient in it, if you're accurate enough. I think 8 mil has classified itself as a hunting round. That's what I took my score with yesterday. Bands are just there. Bands are changing. You like to lecture someone on rubber. It's
Well,
asinine because I've taken rabbits with .4 latex butterfly.
I'm gonna tiptoe into some probably dangerous water with what I'm
Let's
about to
do it.
say.
Let's
But
go. You got
Let's
this is
do it.
one reason. This is one reason I don't care for Facebook. I
Oh yeah.
like I get on Facebook and I'll post my videos and other things on there, but I feel like Facebook is where everybody who just got into the sport and knows everything about it go straight to. I
Yeah.
feel like I like to get information and sources from the Slingshot forums because I feel like the people on the forums are people that are a little more interested in it. They're digging a little deeper, looking for more answers because they realize they don't already know everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a growing period. People get obsessed with information and they get into that. It's like any young shooter. I mean, any young person, right? You get a new job, you think you know everything because you went to schooling or something like that. It's a bad habit to break, but you almost need like a slingshot shooter that's been around to take you under their wing and ask them questions too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the forum is where you're going to find that. You know, just that's just my opinion. Let the hate
Yeah,
mail
no,
begin.
it's those people on the forums they've been in the community for a long time. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
will say
definitely.
this though. Sorry, Andrew.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I said I will say this though. Even though a lot of the Facebook pages can get really annoying, in that the pile on of information, especially for the new shooters who are more obsessive, like I was, just trying to learn and learn and learn and learn and learn. It does like steer your mind more towards slingshots and help you learn a little quicker because you're thinking about it more in ways you haven't thought about it before. Even if some guy like, kind of pisses you off a little bit, that in turn will make you think a little more and should help you along your slingshot journey.
No, absolutely. I know what you're saying. It is a great thing in that it's a resource for new shooters.
mhm.
You can learn stuff on there, but I
Mhm.
think the delivery message is a little more tactful sometimes from the people on the forums.
Mhm.
Um, that's just kind of my opinion. I think
Yeah,
that some of the
there,
people kind of linger around Facebook because they know a lot more than the other new people, but I go into the forums because I realize I don't know a lot, and there's a lot of people in there that know a lot more than me.
yeah, there is a dark side to it too, especially when it pertains to hunting. I know there were some people doing some illegal stuff in parks, taking ducks and geese in the UK, and people didn't want people posting photos of kill shots. But I think it is if you are about that and you do join a hunting group, obviously that's the material that should be funneled through that group and not others. That we should be proud of our right to be able to do that because other countries aren't able to, right? But
Right.
also, I posted pictures where I believe it was one where I harvested two fox squirrels. I was lucky enough to get two of them out of a tree, and I posted it with my slingshot. And then someone messaged me, said, "Hey, I'm not going to mention his name, but he said, hey, I just want to let you know that my pictures have been shared around to like animal activist groups and stuff like that. And then someone shared mine from the hunting group to them, and then they were threatening like horrible things to me. Like, it's crazy.
Really?
Yes, it's crazy.
Jeez.
So that only happened the
I,
one time. So you just block them and move on. But
man, it's hard to be a people person when I hate people half the
yeah, same,
time.
same.
Well, I was actually getting ready to pull your picture of your squirrel up and share it on here, but I don't need
Yeah, it's a little
that.
gory, right? No, I mean you
Yeah.
can. I'm if you're okay with it, but don't
I'll
bother
just
me
avoid it
none.
for today. Trent, go see it if you haven't. He got a good looking squirrel.
Right, I saw it when he posted it. It was good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was
In my
about
opinion.
that was actually a fun little hunt. I was in the woods for about 2 hours. I was actually just bringing my dog, he's a puppy, letting him do his thing, and I'm walking with him on the lead. And it just so happens that I had my frame on me. I wasn't really intentionally, hunting a
Right.
squirrel, but the beauty of it is, I slide this in my pocket, I take it out, I have ammo. He was perched up on a tree looking at me and kind of wondering what the dog was, and he was about 15 meters, I would guess, out. Hit him right in the head. He was lights out instantly. So it was. You love those moments when you take
Right.
something and you know they didn't suffer.
That is cool. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't hunted. I mean, other than going out with my slingshot and not getting any, I
Yeah.
haven't actually hunted for squirrels since I was a kid. But yeah, my dad used to like I said, take me squirrel and rabbit hunting and stuff. We were never deer hunters or big game
Yeah.
hunters, but I grew up around all that, so it doesn't offend me. I love venison. I'm just too lazy to go out and hunt.
Yeah. No, we'll have to get you out there because it's a lot of fun once you get on some game.
Oh,
I'm a weekend warrior.
you know what? This just kind of reminded me. I was looking at Precise's website last
Okay.
night, actually, because I was talking to Dave Longworth about this. I've never seen anybody in the States, at least, with one of the Precise frames or heard anybody talking about owning one of the Precise frames. A lot of people get the latex and stuff. But
Yeah.
have you guys ever shot one of the Precise frames?
Yeah, I have.
Have you? I've never seen one in person, but I was thinking about ordering one because they got some really good looking frames.
Yeah, they have
But
some neat titanium ones that are pretty heavy.
yeah, but I was looking at their fishing reels that they sell on there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, because I want to do some fishing this spring, and I was thinking, man, that's actually something I could do. I could take those down to the local lake with me, and I don't think that's illegal in Indiana. Hunting with the slingshot is legal here.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if that would
Almost
fall under the fishing laws or I have no
I don't
idea.
know, but I'm gonna check it out because if that's actually something that's legal here, I may go down and do some. That'd be a cool video, I think.
I think the DNR would probably be okay with it if you talk to them they would probably tell you carp would be the biggest targeted species, I assume. That's what people spear and bow fish all the time
No,
there.
I'm not talking about spearfishing. I'm talking about just fishing with
With a
like
dart,
using.
right?
No, just fishing
Oh,
with a
I see what you're
just
saying.
casting with the slingshot.
Okay,
I was
I
thinking
thought
that
those
too.
were for darts.
Are they for darts? I don't know. I just thought that's how
Yeah,
they cast them.
they hook them up to darts and shoot them out of slingshots and
Well,
stick fish with them.
I knew they did that, but I was thinking that you could just cast with one as well. Could you not do that? You think?
I don't see why not. It'd be like a hand line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be something to try. If I get arrested, man, well, Trent, you're closer.
Yeah, I don't know you
know
once
me.
that happens. I was like, he's got a slingshot too. Look at him.
Oh, yeah. Trent, you did actually post it, and I looked it up as well. We were talking about slingshotting within the city limits in Indiana. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything I saw said so. So that's all I got. I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't find any city ordinances, but everything I said says in Indiana, it's illegal to shoot within city limits.
within city limits. Yeah,
I could be wrong. Like just everything that I found said that.
Yeah.
I live just outside of the city limits. As a matter of fact, the city has been trying to annex my neighborhood for the past couple of years. So I hope that doesn't happen. But if they do, they're gonna have to catch me. I got a privacy fence. They'll never know.
Yeah, cities are very unique in their rules when it comes to slingshots. I mean, there's certain cities you actually can't even own one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy. Indiana is a pretty good state for slingshot.
it is. Yeah, Michigan and Indiana are. Ohio, where I live, is not so much.
I know Illinois, they're like really strict over there about even owning them and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I can imagine to have one shipped in living there, right? Like probably people like Simple Shot wouldn't even do it. You'd have to go to over like eBay or Etsy to get a frame.
Yeah.
Send it to your buddy in Indiana and we'll go pick it up.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, I am going to have to call this done soon because I got some other stuff I got to get taken care of. But you guys have anything else you want to bring up or talk about while we're on here?
No, thanks for having me. I really do appreciate it.
It was a blast, man. What's that?
I wish I had more to say. Like, I feel like I've just been really quiet and awkward this whole time.
That's all right, man. I wanted these to kind of mirror what we do at tournaments. This is what we do at tournaments, which just kind of impromptu talks, But Tristan, I'm definitely glad you made it because I've been wanting to hear from you. I just enjoy talking to you in general. You haven't been over at Joe's the past few times I've been over there.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You're definitely invited. Anytime we do a group one of these, you're in that group, and I'll just send the code out. Jump in when you can. Same goes for you, Trent, and everybody on that group. I do want to do some one-on-one interviews with people, maybe sometime if they have specific things they want to talk about or something.
Yeah.
But I like these group chats. They're fun, man.
Yeah, they're super fun.
I like them a lot.
And
I'm going to try to generate some stuff to actually talk about beforehand, so I can actually bring more to the table. Because I want to do more of these too. I want to be on as many of these as I can be.
Yeah,
I like hanging
well,
out
you're
with
always
guys.
you're always welcome. They're a lot of fun. I was going to say, if you watch these and you're on them and you think that they look edited, the only editing I do on these is sometimes if there's gaps in the conversation because of Zoom and there's like a little delay while we're trying to hear each other. I do clean it up. I edit those out just so it's not as awkward and the long
Well, that's
pause.
fine.
But other than that, I don't take anything out of the conversation. But I didn't tell you this at the beginning, Tristan. If there is ever anything that you're like, oh, I wish I hadn't said that, just tell me and we can edit it out. But other
Okay.
than that, I just post them as we say them.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I got some leftover pizza and chores that are waiting on me.
I'm about to make some pizza too.
I got a screaming baby waiting for me, so
Oh, well, good luck with that.
I can hear a little bit.
All right, guys, I'll get this posted here in a few hours, but I've enjoyed it. And I'm off the next couple of days, so watch the group chat. We may just jump back on here.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds good.
All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks, both.
See you.
Both
Bye.
of you. See ya.